The 2 Count, where comedy meets wrestling. Please comment, share, and like, and if you're watching the live stream, join us with your comments and questions. And now here are the hosts of the 2 Count, comedian John Russell, and wrestling broadcaster Big Ace.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Good to see y'all. Thanks for popping in. It's the 2 Count. It's wrestling. It's comedy. It's, whatever. We're a little bit late. Had a little problem with the old internet. So that's good. My God. Anybody got stock? Oh my God. Do you love the stock? Do you have any of the AMC or the GME, Ace?
No, I have not even been paying attention to it.
My God, that's too bad. That's a shame. It's truly a shame because they both are, oh my gosh, it's big money time. Big money time. Yeah, I haven't been working at the airport because it's cold. I'm warm. Whatever. I got the window open downstairs tonight, and everything's lovely. So let's just pop up a little banner here. Let's do that. There we go. Well, there were some people that said hello, and then they left. So we're happy about that. Anyway, we're always happy to have folks stop by and say hello. And I assume we'll have some people later on as the night wears on. One of the interesting things that happens when you get used to watching wrestling is you kind of get some expectations built up. And I got to tell you, you and I talked a little bit after the show, during the show for AEW. Hey. Good to see you, Aaron's Open Door. Love it. So anyway, we both watched the AEW show, and I will say this. No, that's perfectly fine. You can watch Corey. Unless you're absolutely hung up on watching this, we're going to go through what we go through, and I certainly don't. Any allegiance. If you're going to watch, if you're going to hang out with Corey, I'm just as happy that you do that. There's Jesse. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. If you're going to watch somebody else and you're going to watch Corey, I don't have a problem with that. But anyway, so I don't know how many of you watched the Revolution pay-per-view put on by AEW on Sunday. First of all, it was on Sunday. And I got to be honest with you. It started off real shitty for me.
Your Sunday or the show?
the show. The Sunday.
So you sent me a message. You were having some issues with Breaker or Preacher Live.
Yeah, Bleacher Report Live.
And what's funny is you did that. You sent me that.
There's our favorite dud right there. Good to see you, Jason. Hope things are well out there in the Mile High.
I had another friend who literally at 7:00 when the show started was sending me messages being like, "You have any issues, man? It will not play for me. It just won't work."
So I will just say this: it took. Thank God that they used the first half hour from 6 until 6:30 to just play garbage, because I didn't see any of it. I didn't get to see the women's tag. I did get to see the women's tag team match, but that's the first thing. It came right up to that, which was a half hour in, right? So it took them.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. I did not because that was that on the pre-show?
Yeah, that was on the pre-show.
I didn't watch the pre-show.
Well,
I very rarely watch pre-shows anymore.
That's why you and Jason get along so well, because you are also a dud.
I just don't. Hey man, I had a damn good round on my PGA career on 2K1 on my PlayStation, and it was go play, go do that or finish this tourney, and I was killing it, and I finished the tourney, bro.
Anyway, Bleacher Report Live must have been just inundated because there was an issue with the Roku specifically, I believe, which is how I watch.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what my other friend said, because like I said, he was hitting me up at 7 and he had no live feed of the actual pay-per-view. Like he missed the first 45 minutes from 7 o'clock to like that. He came in halfway through the actual pay-per-view. He missed like the first 2 matches. I told him, I was like, set up a Twitter, because I don't know, did I tell you the last pay-per-view they had when it started? The first like 15 minutes was in Spanish only for me.
Yeah.
We couldn't get it in English. And I tweeted at them, and like, boom, right there. They were like already hitting me up, being like, oh my God, what are you watching it on? Work 2 minutes later. What's up, Big Mike? Malice, baby.
The man, Malice in the house. Good to see you, friend. Even though I haven't met you. God, I can't wait until all this shit is over and we can come out and see some of you guys at shows.
Well, the good news is Iowa is open. Which means more than likely the Hall of Fame is going to happen this year.
That'll be great. With it, I gotta say, with the exception of the fact that, dude, first of all, I want to tell you this, Jesse. We are literally, I mean, I'm hoping if we can get everything squared away that we can go directly to Twitch, on next week. I'd be happy to do that. If not, it might be another week, because I've got a big show I'm streaming with the Awesome. That'll be fun. It'll be great to meet all you guys. But anyway, Jesse, the Twitch, I don't know. I got it all screwed up, man. But I'm going to get it fixed. I got the Stream Deck on Sunday, which is one of the reasons I was happy, because I got that all set up. And so the show will go very, very smooth as long as I have internet. And
yeah, that's the next thing we got to get you.
Yeah. Well,
good internet.
Yeah. The internet's good when it's working. But anyway, point being, yeah. So, but the whole thing, like, I don't even know. I'm off the track. But the BR Live.
Real quick, Jesse, just because you've been asking, his name was Discount, and that's because he was half off when I got him at the shelter. They didn't want him anymore. So.
Which half? The front half or the back half?
Yeah, he's fat as shit, bro. And I don't even I don't feed him. Like, I've cut his food back so much, and he just, I mean, I live in a little apartment, so it's just me and him, and he doesn't do shit, and I work all day, so it's.
He looks like a wrestling cat, though. Yeah, he can take it. That cat can take a bump.
He's a good kitty. He's a good kitty. I'll tell you what, my anxiety and depression would have been the end of me if it wasn't for that fat thing during this pandemic.
So, what do you do to the cat? Do cats like peanut butter?
No, it's just nice to not be completely alone for almost a year locked in your apartment. That you go to that you go crazy. At least I had a cat to talk to and piss me off at times, so I can still feel like I'm dealing with something. Did you have arguments? Did you have arguments with him? Oh my God, I talk to the cat all the time. Before the pandemic, though, I talked to the cat all the time. But that's just because I'm a loser and have no one to hang out with.
See, that's not true. That's not true.
Dude, it is true, dude. I have changed because you knew me, dude. When we met, I was in like my heyday I was like center of attention.
Yeah.
I was doing the bars. I was doing events. I was always, on the mic. I was always in the spotlight doing shit. And we come fast forward to today. And I just don't even want to be around people. Like, unless I know you,
that's just,
I don't want to be around you.
That's just,
and it is. But this last year didn't make that any easier.
Yeah, that's just a guy getting old, though. Yeah, it's always bad when the cat talks back.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so let's back to basics, I guess, or where we were. My evening with the pay-per-view started off badly. Because I was, to be honest with you, it's so angry. It's like, yep, yeah, exactly.
I got it all set up. Jesse. I'm ready. Jay and I just got to pull the trigger, and it sounds like it's happening in the next week or two. So.
We'll do a test of moving over there, and once we move over there, it'll be much easier. And I'm telling you, Ace, you're gonna believe Corey kind of gave me a little bit of lessons on Saturday, and then I worked on it on Sunday with this thing. The whole thing's going to be really a lot smoother.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I don't know exactly. I don't know if I can do a scroll on the bottom, but I don't think we necessarily need it.
No, we don't. No.
Anyway,
if that's the one thing we're losing by going to Twitch, I'm fine with it. I'm fine. I'm excited to go and talk wrestling with all our friends and fans on there and just have a good time.
Absolutely. And here's the thing though. I mean, it was like, I was thinking, I can get rid of StreamYard now, but guess what? I can't. I get too many clients that I've been using it with.
But that's good. And anybody watching, if you don't know how to do this kind of stuff and you need to do an event or anything, or you want to do it online, like hit up JR and let him produce it for you, because dude is a StreamYard master.
The University of Arkansas is doing a Children's Miracle Network dance marathon.
Hell yeah.
On Saturday.
Is that code for just there's a strip club in Arkansas streaming live and you're just setting it up?
I would love it if that was the case, but no. It's a whole thing that apparently they do all over the country. Colleges do it.
Nice.
And they raise money for the children's hospitals. And so I'm on that from 9 until 6. So it's I mean, for me it's a marathon, but I mean they do have a big ass lunch break, so
hell yeah.
And I'm like, that's good. So I'm getting paid well for that. So anyway, but let's just
let's get into the show.
Let's just talk about it because
my Sunday started great though, because again I had an amazing round on PGA and I was just doing great. It was a good Sunday going into the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and to be honest, mine was too. 5 hours before the show started, I bought the thing on my Roku, and then I got my Stream Deck, and so I started playing with that until I thought, oh well, it's 5:30. I better start getting my shit ready. And then I couldn't. The BR Live app wouldn't even open up. And it. I mean, I was sending to their Twitter. I was sending. Trying to get to the chat on their website. I couldn't even get them to answer me.
That's so crazy. Time. That's so crazy because like the one time I had the issue with them and I tweeted something at them, like literally within 3 minutes I had a response. And
I think it was
2 minutes after that it was working on my Apple TV.
In hindsight, I think it was a massive failure. Yeah, and they also I think had a failure on. I think they had a fight that was going on ahead of that.
Well, now so here's the thing. Before we get to the card of this show, this was a bad weekend to do a pay-per-view.
Fuck yeah!
Saturday night you had a big, I think, boxing match or MMA show. One of the two. I couldn't remember, but it was a bigger one. And then on Sunday you're competing against the NBA All-Star Game, which. All those people that you just got to tune in on that Wednesday before this pay-per-view, who majority of them are basketball fans because of Shaq, and those are the ones you're hoping they're going to buy that go-home show and buy the pay-per-view. None of them are going to because they're basketball fans. They're obviously going to watch the All-Star Game over this show for $50. So it was just, to be honest, this wasn't great planning on AEW's part. I would have maybe done it the weekend before or after. This was just not a great weekend for a pay-per-view.
Well, let's start with this. First of all, the Shaq, Jade Cargill, Cody Red Velvet match.
Oh, have we not talked about any of this?
We didn't talk about it because it was the day after. So let's talk about that a little bit quick.
I'm sorry, me and Wes talked about it, so it was it was to avoid that UFC show.
Yeah,
I'm just not a fan of the AEW Sunday night shows. Not a fan.
Anyway, my feeling. One of the I mean that match was way above expectation.
It most definitely was.
I mean,
nobody saw Shaq going through tables.
No.
It
was so. And if you didn't watch it, you can go watch it on YouTube. I'm sure it's on AEW.
On demand. Yeah, it's on demand as well.
Yeah, so you can go do that, and I guarantee you'll watch it. The one thing I really kind of wanted to see that I didn't get to in that match was I would have loved to seen Shaq next to Velvet.
Yeah,
because just for the
for the size comparison, because she was it would have been
tiny.
Yeah, I'm guessing there's a picture of them backstage. I would think. I don't know. I know Wes was talking to him for a moment back there for a little bit.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, and actually, Thursday we have an episode coming out. It's pre-recorded. He wasn't happy that I told everybody that when we were recording it, but I was like, why are we pretending to be live? Like, it's going to premiere. It's not going to say live anyways. So Thursday we got a premiere at 7 Central. Make sure you guys watch it. And we talk a lot about Wes as he was.
Yeah, that's true, Jason. I mean, there was one point where he's like standing in the middle, and the camera kept hitting him in the back.
Yep. But yeah, so what we talk about kind of the trip for him and Velvet and kind of the day and kind of his day, because obviously, you know, Red's getting ready for the match and he's kind of just there to support, so he's hanging out. But yeah, he got to talk to a lot of people and all that stuff, so we talk about it. But
that'll be kind of interesting. I without giving away any of it, did it kind of sway his thinking about maybe coming back more or less, or not?
He was a bit more surprised by the response backstage, as far as just the talent back there who would come up and while he was there and was like, "Oh, Wes, it's so good to see you," and all that stuff. So I think he tends to forget, or he tends to sometimes think people forget about him. Or they only know him because of Red now, or they only know him because of his dad. So he always wonders, because a couple days before they did a signing in New York, him and Red together, and he was nervous about it too. Like, I don't know how many people are going to be here for me. And he was actually ended up being really good. Like, people were there, and people were there in like decked out Aces and Eights gear.
Oh, nice.
Stuff like that. So, and they're doing an Aces and Eights, a little reunion in a few weeks out in, oh man, I don't remember, Georgia or something like that.
Cool.
They're going to do that. But yeah, no, it was, I don't know where Wes is at in his wrestling career at this point. I mean, he's been at it for a while. He's really hit it hard. He's done some really great things. Obviously, there's probably things he wished that he would have done and heights he would have reached, and things made it that didn't happen at this point. I think he would be open to the options of, you know, like, say if AEW does talk to him and they're like, "Hey, would you ever want to do anything?" Like, I think he would be open to it, but I also think he's only going to do it for the right reasons, and if it's something he actually wants to do. If they're gonna if they're pitching like some pretty weak storyline for him and just gonna try to like job him out or something, he's gonna look at it and maybe be like, I don't know if it's worth my time. Again, he's a very busy man with the house business and everything. So
he's obviously not going to pursue them. They're going to have to make a pitch to him.
Yeah. Well, and you know, the whole other thing too is, he doesn't really, it's not even about that. He's just there to support Red, and he's pushing her. He wants her to best. If that sparks talks between them two, that's fine. But like, the biggest thing is he doesn't want just people to think like he's going to get signed at AEW, and that's because his fiance is there. And he doesn't want to be signed just because his fiance is there. He wants to be signed. If he were to be signed, he'd want it to be because they want him there as a talent, because he's a true talent, and he is a good talent. And I don't know if you've seen it, but I mean, the dude's jacked, looking some of the best shape he's ever been in right now. So it's so funny. Okay, so here, quick story. Story before we get into it. And we kind of talk about this on the next show, but so I have Wes's Twitter on my phone. I have I have our show, me and Wes's show, yours and I's show, my Twitter account and his Twitter account. I have all of them on my thing. I have full access to them. And the reason why is Wes isn't a big social media guy, so when we do some stuff or have things going, I'll from time to time be the one tweeting on his Twitter.
Yeah.
But I get notifications from all the accounts when we get stuff. So I was sitting at the couch the other night watching TV, and all of a sudden I got a ding on my phone, and when I looked at it, it was a message on Twitter, and it was from Randy Orton. It was talking about, man, look at Jack Boy, or some shit like that. And I was just like, oh, this is a message for Wes. I was like, why would Randy Orton be... I was like, what the hell? And then I was like, oh, okay. And then we talk about it like those two were DMing each other, because there was some stuff. I think it was John JBL has a YouTube channel where he's doing shows where him and Briscoe talk to the old the boys.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Stories. Oh, perfect. You like it?
Have you seen it? I think it's pretty good. I like
it. There's some cool stories. But I think in they did kind of talk a story about, or they just had maybe Bob Orton on the show and maybe talked about being at like Jerry's place back in the day, and the whole story of they were like doing the boats and all that, and Randy was like, "Are there snakes, gators in the water?" And Wes was like, "Oh yeah, man, they're everywhere. They're gonna get you." And I guess he was like in the water and thought like gator was coming at him, and they were like egging him on, like a big joke. So they were actually like catching up over that, and it was just funny because again, I like that earlier that day is when Wes posted his last picture of him in the ring where he's just like, ah, and it's like, holy shit. And then all like hours later when I'm just like out of it, like, Randy Orton, jacked son of a bitch, or something like that. And I'm just like, what?
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
It was funny though, but yeah. So
it is.
Anyways,
we'll look forward, folks, and make sure that you go to the Briscoe and Big Ace show, so you can watch that.
I should really start messing with his people and just start answering them back. Be like, thanks, Randy. You pretty jacked too, buddy.
Yeah,
like, dude. Start having conversations with them, and then Wes finally catches him.
So, what do you think would happen? Do you think he'd get shitty with you about it?
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah. Rightfully so, though. Like, I would too if I like my friends were like talking to my friends in that situation where it's like obviously Randy Orton's a celebrity in the world of wrestling. He is a legend. So I mean, in that world, like, yeah, you know,
but you wouldn't. But you would. Well, I mean,
it's funny too.
You wouldn't be disrespectful.
No, but I'm not going to do personal conversations for him with his old friends. I'm not going to, because as soon as he's like, you remember this day, I'm going to be like,
well, you started. You say, hey, remember that one time at the Waffle House?
Yeah, sure. I remember. Yeah, that's funny. I mean, but I get it too, because it happens too. Like, I've had moments where I'm with Wes at certain events and like the Hall of Fame, and, friends are there that I know. And sometimes go a little too hard on the fanning out. And it can sometimes be much when a lot of the times we're around, it's like, hey, this is just relaxed time. Like, the show's over. Like,
it's a hard thing.
It's a hard thing. So I would never do that to any of these people that he's friends with.
I get it.
Unless it's someone like, maybe I would mess with some of the guys that have been on our show. Like if Chavo was sending them like a message and I saw it before he did on his account, and I'd write back or something.
Yeah,
but that would be a joke then, because again, he knows who I am and stuff. Randy Orton, no. If I wrote that back and it was like, oh, just play with you, it's Big Ace. He's gonna be like, who the fuck is Big Ace?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
A phone call.
I'm gonna kill you.
Who the fuck is Big Ace?
I'm gonna kill that fucking guy.
Well, anyway, all right.
Most F-bombs I've said on this show.
Yeah, well, but that's okay. You're allowed. We're just getting you ready for Twitch. All right. So anyway, the opening match in the pre-show was Thunder Rosa and Riho against Dr. Britt Baker and the newly introduced other Japanese girl,
Maki Atoa. Jason probably would know her name better than
Jason probably. I liked her. I liked the idea of her character seemed really good.
She seemed to gel well with Britt Baker too.
Yeah. I like the fact that Rebel had a bad knee and then used the crutch. I mean,
yeah.
That's old school. That's what Papa likes.
That's what a heel does. Damn it. I love that the doctor's note was
Maki Ito.
I love that the doctor's note was written by herself, saying that she was ineligible to compete and that she had the new thing. Did you see the BTE latest episode too, where Dark Order was like, "No one's gonna replace Anna"? And then she walks in, "What's up, motherfucker?"
Maki Ito.
That was hilarious. I wonder if that means.
I'm sorry, Maki Ito sounds like it sounds like it would be a great Japanese restaurant to get sushi at.
There you go.
Maki Ito.
Find a guy who can make sushi for you. You can start the business.
Anyway.
I didn't see the match, so you tell me, what'd you think of it, or you missed this match too?
I thought it was good. There were a lot of. I honestly, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. WrestleMania. My thought was this. That's okay. You don't have to correct that shit.
He wants to though, JR. He wants to.
I know, Sin. I agree. I mean, her personality shows through even without the problems with language. Just kind of like Rio does. Riho versus Rio, who will come up later. But
even Rio too, though. Even Rio too. Like, I'm so glad she won to get that match with Shida.
Oh yeah. See, it's Sin. She's late. Don't you know this? Good to see you, Danny. Oh my God, Rod Days.
Nice.
Awesome.
What's up, dude?
Good to see you,
How far Sheboygan from here?
Sheboygan's about 3.5, 4, maybe something like that. Yeah, I agree. And that's true. Words are hard, among other things.
They are definitely hard.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. It wasn't perfect, and I think that's one of the things. Like, I mean, you guys tell me if you agree or don't. With the women's division, we've kind of become accustomed to being a little bit forgiving with them. You know, they're trying hard, and I just kind of feel like they're sort of out there on their own a bit.
Well, I think, and we've addressed the bigger problem with the women's division over there, and that is there's no storytelling to this. So, like, how do you expect talent to really start to work and gel together when you're working with her this week, you're working with her next week? I was watching Dark tonight, and Abaddon had a match, and they had mentioned, like, oh, she even was intimidating Shida at one point, and it was like, oh yeah, she feuded with Shida for like 2 or 3 weeks, didn't she?
Nice.
Like, that was super quick and short-lived. Basically everything in Rio's run Shida's run has been very short and quick.
He's new. I should make him a mod. I can't do it now. I will when we get the Twitch.
Yeah.
I should make him a mod. He's new.
But yeah, so it was just like, I don't know, man. It's just, I want stories. Like, let these girls tell stories. That was the biggest thing when I was watching the match with Shida and Rio, and it was just kind of like, this is a great match, but like, this is for the women's title. Why is there no one that's I get what they did with the Nyla spot afterwards, but then that even was like, but she's had how many chances and it already had a title run? How many women are on this roster that need to be getting pushed into bigger roles?
I mean, let's be honest. Nyla Rose is not anywhere close to going to be the face of the women's division, nor a heel. It's hello, Pearl.
Hello, everybody.
She's just not. And they have, I mean, Britt Baker's the ultimate heel in the women's division, in my mind. Nyla's just kind of a,
right.
I mean,
the thing is, there's such good talent there. You don't need to do a tournament to tell a story. You can actually build feuds and storylines. But that's been kind of a thing with AEW, is it's been a lot of short stuff. There's been a few things that have had long, like the Moxley and Omega stuff seemed to be quite the feud. It's gone over a good amount of time. But like, then you look at AEW Dark tonight, and you have QT Marshall versus Fuego Del Sol. And this has been a 6-month buildup on Sammy Guevara's vlog. A match on Dark had a longer and pretty decent build on someone's vlog for 6 months. And even then, I don't think there's going to be a true payoff yet, because the match ended with Fuego having a slip up off the top rope and then getting diamond cuttered, but and losing the match. So I'm sure that slip is going to play into it. But I just really wish there was more going on with these ladies. There's such. Wait, Allie hasn't had a match in how long?
No, never. I can't think of the last one.
Penelope.
Penelope's been in a match.
She has, but not much. Like here and there, it's been sparse.
I just want to say, yeah, you're right. She's a placeholder.
But that was the pay-per-view. There should have been a bigger moment at the end that came after that.
I mean, it seems like that whole it just seems like that whole match was basis for her to come in, which I'm not a huge fan of that.
Well, the other thing too is
you had a good match. It was a good match.
Oh, it was it was a great match. Well, all of it was a good match. Rio, Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, and Maki. Great match. I will rewatch it. But the actual show kicked off with the AEW Tag Champs.
Yes.
So I was surprised that was the starting match too, to be honest. Right. Where the hell's Big Swole been? Is she still hurt? I don't know. Bring your own storylines. Yeah, that might be. I mean, I think partially that's true, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that happen backstage at that place that none of us actually do know about, and there's more stories going on backstage than any of us really know about. So I think, yeah, part of it is that, but I think part of it too is because the other thing too is we've been saying it from the beginning. There's just so much talent that's getting cycling through, and it's just like, man, I don't know. I'm just a sucker. I'm a sucker for a good story. That's why, and I know people may not be into the whole smoke and mirrors part of it, but like the Fiend, Randy Orton, and Bliss. Like, first of all, the fact that Orton and Fiend still have a feud building right now, and we haven't seen the Fiend since December or some shit like that. That's good storytelling. And wrestling is wrestling, but the biggest part of wrestling is it's physical and it's storytelling. They both need to be there to be perfect, and a lot of times on both sides of these companies, we're seeing them do one or the other. But I mean, the stories going into this pay-per-view were good. We even said it, or maybe we and you didn't say. I don't remember, but I was jacked. I think maybe we said it off air, but I was jacked for this pay-per-view after that go-home show.
Oh,
because that go-home show was great from top to bottom. That Dynamite was great.
Yeah. So anyway, the Bucks and Jericho and MJF. That was a really good match to start with. And to be honest with you, I like the way that they do that. They usually start with a real banger to kick it off, which really gets you hopped up. But then it always becomes, how are you going to top that? You know? And I mean, honestly, I don't feel like the Bucks nor Jericho or MJF held back anything.
No.
And it was fantastic, and I love the way that it ended for multiple reasons. You know, the Bucks keep the belts, and the inner circle's going to implode.
Yeah, and even Jericho just came out with one of his last episode of the podcast, and it had MJF on it, and even on there was they were taking little jabs at each other. Where like MJF's like, well, you know, I had a big match, and Jericho goes, well, yeah. I mean, but I've had like way more bigger matches, you know. And he's like, what do you mean by bigger match? I mean, like I was in the main event. Well, I was in a main event too. Yeah, you were in one. Like that kind of stuff is what they were doing on the podcast this week. So it's like, all this is being set up for this implosion that's going to happen. I do think, and we'll get to it, but I think there was a perfect spot for Sammy Guevara on this show, and they missed the boat. But the trade-off that we got was great. And MJF is taking over the inner circle. That's what's going to happen this week,
absolutely.
Right? That's what has to happen. Like he's going to be like, oh man, Jericho, it's time to go. I just think that is what's going to happen. Do we see Guevara come back though to help Jericho?
So I'm wondering if Guevara comes back with MJF, or hey, cheesy. If he comes back with MJF, or if he comes back with Jericho. He's going to come back with one of them.
I hope it's Jericho, because they've done a really good job of building the hate between MJF and Guevara that I'd want to see that match.
Yeah.
So I hope that's how it goes.
And then I also wonder if I just wonder if the inner circle goes away.
I think it will.
I mean,
it's time. It ran its course.
Because Santana and Ortiz are doing fine on their own, and they've been out on their own without any backup. Hager's got his deal, and I would think that he would kind of hang with Jericho. Sam, you're right, absolutely, Dan.
Oh yeah, Dan.
And I think that if you need to take care of it manually, you can do it that way too. We don't mind as long as you keep it to yourself.
Right away, bro.
But anyway, that's out of the whole thing, and then obviously the Bucks get to go on, and they will continue to hold on to those belts until the ultimate, where they and the Good Brothers take each other on. I mean, obviously that's the natural goal, I think, of what they're doing.
If that's not what the match is at Double or Nothing, I would be very surprised.
Absolutely.
Very surprised.
Yep. And of course the Death Triangle won that thing, so they're going to be, and that's going to be a fantastic match. So they're going to keep this. They're going to keep the tag titles very up front and in focus. And hey, JJ, good to see you, buddy.
JJ, what's up? Yeah, no, and the Death Triangle, Pocket Ray Phoenix winning that Casino Tag Team Royal was great. That was a good call on that. There was a few teams that could have won that match, and it would be cool. That'd be cool too, Dan. I wouldn't be mad if they joined Team Taz, because like Death Triangle could have won, and I'd have been happy with it.
Yeah.
Silver and Reynolds could have won. I would have been happy with it. Uno and Grayson could have won. I would have been happy with it. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus could have won that. I would have been happy. Like there was a lot of teams that.
Thanks for stopping.
What's up, buddy? There's a lot of teams that could have won this match, and it would have been great either way. Good to see the Death Triangle pull it off. And then one other just thing noting, and that is that QT Marshall walked away from the Nightmare Factory.
Yeah, it's a Nightmare Family, not Factory.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking Monster Factory. Shout out Danny Cage out there on the
East
Coast,
he is.
brother.
He's full action. It's I found that kind of interesting in that it's I mean that's another one that's basically a dark story. Hey Karen, how you doing? Glad to see you.
Hello. Yeah, he definitely is. I mean, but like I said, the thing with Sammy Guevara's vlog and building that whole match with Fuego and QT though was actually entertaining.
Yeah.
And Fuego is actually a really good talent, like really is. Hello.
Hey, Ellie.
And so it was a lot of fun to watch, and I enjoyed the match tonight. I actually watched. Heck yeah, I actually watched Dark tonight. Not that I don't always watch it, but I don't always watch it. But sometimes I do. But tonight I made a point because I was like, I got to see the Fuego QT match. I just had to see it. Like I was really hoping Fuego would get the put over on it, but he didn't. But he did. He did nail the Tornado DDT.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's one of the.
It was a fun battle royal though. Considering it was a tag team thing, it was fun, and I'm glad they did it where if one guy was out, the other guy was still in, and not just the team was eliminated. So that was fun. It was fun.
And then yet at the end, the team was still there together.
Yeah,
I feel like Ray Phoenix really got hurt though. At the end,
he may have. He was
acting like he got his bell rung a little bit, in my opinion. But either way.
I mean, there's a lot of people flying around that ring at that time.
Either way, what do we miss? What do we skip?
We're at the AEW Women's Championship.
Oh yeah,
Shida versus Ryo Mizunami.
We talked about that.
Dude, Mizunami is a talent, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, good. I enjoyed her when she was on early on in the AEW days when she had her match prior.
Yeah,
I enjoyed watching her. I've seen some stuff online a little bit, but like this was a really good match, and even the one with Nyla was really good. Like she has that vibe of like you kind of underdogish, but then like she's just a badass. You know what I mean? That's what was cool with these two is they really didn't hold back. Shida and Mizunami. So it was a really good match. I honestly like they could have gave it to Ryo and I would have been like, yeah.
I would have too.
Yeah,
I would have been perfectly fine. But yeah, overall, and then really good match. And then what's next? Is it Hangman and Money?
No, Miro and Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Now, before the match, we see them doing the promo, Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor, and then Miro smashing Chuck Taylor's head through that glass window and the door and arm. Yeah. So it was really crazy.
We'll get to that in a minute. Because
he was bleeding pretty good.
Oh, yeah. He was definitely lacerated.
Almost more blood in that match than the main event.
Yeah, almost. We'll get to that. I just like to see all the comments. It's so nice.
I know you really do love it. You love it, and we appreciate everybody hanging out.
I just want to say, if you guys are watching us on Twitch right now, please do me a favor. If you haven't done so already, give me a follow over there on that Twitch channel. We're going to eventually move over there full time. It would be great to be able to get over there and start with 50 followers because right now we're at 44. So if you haven't done that yet, really do us a big favor. And Well, I assumed you were. I assumed you guys. I mean, you guys that are here are probably the ones that are already following.
Yeah, and if you guys are watching not on Twitch right now, if you have a Twitch account, make sure you find us and do that. And if not, set up a Twitch, because again, a few more weeks here, and we will not probably be seeing the live stuff on YouTube or Facebook.
We'll probably, but basically our plan will be this: we will do our live show on Tuesday, and we'll do it on Twitch, and then we will put the recording up on YouTube the next day. You'll still be able to watch it. You just won't be able to participate. And the participating is the most fun. And if you don't know how to get onto Twitch, brother, we'll either do a little video tutorial to let you know how to do it, or if you need help, we can even walk you through it. It's pretty easy. It's just more fun. We can do a lot more stuff over on Twitch than we can here. And that's just because old guys learn slow, I reckon. But anyway,
we do.
Anyway. Okay. So the next match that I skipped us through was which? Who?
So we're at the Miro Kip Sabian versus Cassidy and Chuck Taylor match. Miro and Kip Sabian wins, but we see the cracking happen between Miro and Kip Sabian. When Miro just shoves Kip into Penelope. Penelope goes flying off the ring.
I got to be honest with you. I'm very happy. And if those of you who are not huge wrestling fans, but if you're a wrestling fan and you remember Rusev from the WWE, Miro is Rusev. And he's going to be just, it was the shortest and probably the most satisfying in many ways because of it. Miro is just going to be a complete badass wild bull, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I was really hoping the finish was going to be they win, but he just flips out on everybody and even turns on Kip. Because that's how they should be booking Miro, man. He's a massive, just big dude. The personality's big. He should be one of the guys in the locker room on this card that when he's out there, he's the guy that's just crushing people. Now, I get it. They have a lot of big guys. You got Will Hobbs. You got Brian Cage. You got Lance Archer. You got all these guys. You know what I mean?
Ric Flair, 100%.
Yeah, Ric Flair, but that's because he was taking what Buddy Rogers was doing and then stepping it up a notch. You know what I mean?
I wish, but I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's giving that up.
You never know, though. You never know.
That would pour some salt into the old Vince McMahon's eyeballs, wouldn't
it? It would, and we may see some of that happen eventually. So now we're on Hangman and Adam Page and Matt Hardy. Okay. Big money match. Good match. Hardy's looking good at his age. I will admit that, especially after some of the matches he's had in AEW where it's like he almost died.
Yeah.
Like, dude's looking all right. And dude, Hangman Page, like, how has Hangman Page not, like, he needs the title?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
What are they doing?
He will get it eventually. And I think that's going to be a long build to the Omega. And I'm just have that up there because I can't read it. And I know it's long. So, but anyway,
it's Scott Steiner doing math about following our show.
I got it.
I didn't know. Sometimes you really can't read things. I never know. I can't either.
I mean, I can most of the time read it.
I can't.
But I have. See, here's the other thing. I keep getting these pop-ups on my goddamn computer because I have refused to renew my free flipping antivirus.
Bro, because I don't your antivirus.
But I don't need it. You have the antivirus from Windows, and that's perfectly fine. And so now all it does is it keeps up. Yes, absolutely. But the whole thing with Omega and that'll be down the line. I don't know if I don't think it'll be at Double or Nothing, but I think it'll be coming up.
I hope he gets a good run.
I do like the fact that Dark Order, because that seems like that's going to happen. Now that kind of makes me happy.
Oh, because
he's
for
got
sure.
Friends and shit now.
For sure, dude. I love that they came out and helped him out and he got the win with them. So that was just great. So now we have the face of the Revolution ladder match, Cody Rhodes, Penta El Zero Miedo, Scorpio Sky, a heel Scorpio Sky, it sounds like, versus Yeah, Lance Archer, Max Caster, who I wasn't a big fan of that guy, but like he did pretty good in this match.
Yep.
And the new signee, I guess.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that sucks. But I expected. That just means not this May, but next May we'll go there for my birthday and Double or Nothing. Ethan Page, free agent, is now not a free agent. He's in AEW. He was in this match.
Hey, buddy.
And it was a big surprise. The one thing with this though was that I really felt that should have been Guevara.
Yeah, I agree, but whatever.
It would have been a great way to bring him back and start his babyface run.
So I'm gonna say this. First of all, you can buy into Cody Rhodes if you want to. Here's the thing. Cody does a really good job of, in my opinion, when he gets hurt, playing that up.
He does, except I didn't like how they did it this page.
I didn't either. Some of the stuff. Yeah, I agree. It makes perfect sense. But here's the thing: all those guys I felt like did really well in that match. It was too long. As has been mentioned before, I felt like, as much as I liked it, I felt like the Paige Hardy match was too long. The women's match was too long. And it's,
this is just my old age, and just I work on Monday morning, so I don't like staying up late on a Sunday night. If this was a Saturday night pay-per-view, I would have had no issues with any of the times of the length of the matches. The fact that it was 10:40 when they went off air finally with the pay-per-view, though, was like...
Probably right, JJ.
I was like, what the hell? Like, I gotta wake up in the morning. I gotta go to work. Like, end this shit at like 9:30. Like, start it earlier. I don't know, but...
Here's the thing. I know a lot of the folks that are watching on Twitch right now, and some of the other folks are familiar with stand-up comedy. And you go to a stand-up show, and there's a set amount of time. It's very similar to wrestling. And you have your opening act, and depending on whatever, and that's supposed to be 15 minutes. That's how fast you're not supposed to go over. You can go a little under, but don't go over. Then you have your middle act, goes 30 minutes. You don't go more than 5 minutes over. In fact, you typically go 25 to 30. 30 is your cutoff. And then you have your closing act, your headliner. It usually does 45 to 50, maybe 55, depending on what's going on. But you never go more than 90 minutes. You know why? Because the audience gets freaking tired of it. And this is exactly like going to a stand-up show where everybody on the goddamn card or bill decides they want to do an extra 5 minutes. That's absolutely unnecessary. But they don't do it because somebody said, hey, you should do another 5 minutes. I'm killing. I should keep going. It isn't the point. And this is why when I look at this and these matches go too long, I just think to myself, you fucking egotistical fucks. No, you'll watch Men in Tights for 5 hours. That's because you get it for free.
See, I think my thing is, wrestling does. And I kind of disagree, just because I think wrestling doesn't have a sweet spot on a time, because you can have a 5-minute match, but if the story was told well, that 5 minutes was great. But then you can have a 60-minute iron match like Brett and Sean, and if the story was told right, that match will be great from beginning to end. The problem with this pay-per-view, I think, as far as time, is there wasn't a lot of story into every match. Some of these matches didn't have any, and then you're gonna watch him in his BVDs, and then no crowd really hurts AEW.
See,
when the crowd's into their shows, it's easier at home to be watching and be like, oh, because you're getting that reaction. But when the crowd really isn't there, yeah. So and that was my thing. I will admit, though, a lot of stuff on this show was jam packed, very jam packed.
I just want to say, wear my
front
underwear.
and back.
No. I just wear my underwear one time and then I throw it away. There are no skin. If there are skid marks, they're in the garbage. I want one and done.
So wait.
So that's what you do when you're a rich bastard like me. Rich.
Yo, you need to start spending that underwear money then on your internet.
Yeah, that's true.
Next, okay, so let's move along with this card because right after that we had the big announcement. So, dude, there was a lot of names, and this name definitely was thrown out pretty early on. But finally, we get the announcement that a Christian Cage has signed with AEW. I don't think it was as surprising as people were hoping. Like, I think they were really hoping for a shocking moment, but I think people kind of were like, it's probably him. But nonetheless, just great.
That's why you're loaded.
Yeah, dude. And dude, I love that guy, man. He's so good at it. I have a picture of him and his brother calling a match on this Rabble thing I used to do in Dallas at WrestleCon, and it was the New Age Outlaws versus Too Cool.
Oh wow!
So it was Too Cool was at the convention, and so and Badass Billy Gunn was in the booth next to us, so we were hanging out with him all day. His two boys come over at the time. I don't know if they were wrestling at this time because again, this is 32, Mania 32 in Dallas. And so they come over, and his two sons are doing the commentary for the Too Cool versus New Age Outlaws match. And then behind them is Billy Gunn, Grandmaster Sexy, Scotty Too Hottie, and no Road Dogg, but Matt Stryker was also standing there watching them do this. It was funny. It was just a cool moment. I actually tweeted that at them, and Austin was like, "Oh my god, that was so long ago," but it was just cool, man. Because like, dude, those guys are so high energy that like it kind of helps with no crowd. Full crowd, like watching the Gun Club, it's like, dude, they're amped. Dude can rap too. I don't know if you've seen some of the rap videos Austin Gunn's put out in the last couple months, but he's pretty good. Plus, also on I think the Sammy Guevara blog, you can watch him rap.
JJ, they're all the wrestlers. So if you're watching AEW, all the wrestlers that aren't working, the ones that are on Dark on Tuesday nights, typically are the baby faces are going to be on camera right, and the heels are all on camera left, and they're there for ambience, and they do a fantastic job making it feel like there's a real crowd there when they don't. Now they're building. He's actually what do you want to call it? Like a player coach?
Yeah, like coach / producer.
Yeah,
like I'm sure he helps with the writing and stuff too.
And
so yeah, he was like the first guy, like first kind of like veteran guy they signed to come over there. He was definitely the first big name because it was shortly after the Hall of Fame where they got inducted.
Right.
Actually, no, he was already in it because Triple H made the comment of the Peon Company or something like that. Pissant Company. Yeah. The same night Bret Hart almost got taken out forever.
Yeah, I remember that. So here's with the Hall of Fame. Here's how it goes. Billy Gunn saying shit, and he goes, "What's he gonna do? Fire me again?"
Right.
And then Triple H says he'll buy that Pissant Company just so we can fire you again.
Right.
That was the whole thing. Which
is not going that way, Triple H.
I would say it's pretty funny though.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
And anyway.
So anybody who's watching with us right now, if you did watch Revolution, I'm very interested to get opinions on these next two matches. So we had Sting and Darby Allin versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. This was a street fight. This was a cinematic match. I'm going to come. I don't mind it a little bit here and there. Like the reason the Boneyard match at Mania last year was so good is it felt like it was still real time. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
It didn't feel super cinematic, even though it was. This thing felt like I was just watching NCIS. It was very heavily produced, and I'm sorry, but I don't want that in a wrestling at its purest is a ring and two guys in there telling a story through a match. I don't need all this shit. I don't know. Yeah, dude, people were free. When I started seeing people say Cena was going to be the guy they signed, it was like, you are insane. You do, even his merch is still selling. And then CM Punk, like I said, I think Jason, you and I were talking about that just in messaging about that. And, but yeah, we were talking about that. And the thing with Punk is, I think eventually at some point he's going to come back for at least a one-off somewhere.
Yeah.
So there's always that wild card factor with him. So
see, here's what I think. I don't think he comes back to WWE until Vince is gone. Punk. And I don't know if he wants it. I mean, I don't know if he feels like he wants to even go to AEW.
Right, exactly. It'll be very interesting. One good thing to note about that, though, is he's a lot of friends with a lot of people, but him and Renee Paquette are very good friends.
Yeah.
So being that Moxley's there and that she's kind of around there, like, you never know. Yeah. But, like, dude, people really were thinking that. Like, him, Cena, and Brock were the three that I kept seeing get thrown out, that it's like, who in their right mind really think those guys are the ones that are coming this weekend? Like, that's just insane.
The other one that sort of didn't make much sense.
Yeah, I saw that too. Not anymore.
Yeah, he got pretty well beat up in the MMA, and
Dana White.
What was it? 4 or 5 matches?
I think it was 3 or 4. Dana White won't let him fight anymore. He won't have him fight for them anymore. So he can still do it. It's just not going to be UFC matches. I think now he's just doing TV shows, and like I think he did like a comic book or something like that.
Hooray!
Hey, Ricky! Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I don't know, that whole sign thing was a fun week though of anticipation and seeing the crazy names that were getting thrown out. You know, I mean,
the one that was
Gilbert was there for the taking.
I know Gilbert was, but the other one that they mentioned was Kurt Angle, but of course he already is in the Hall of Fame. So,
that jerk face was playing into it too.
I know he was, and
he trolled everybody.
I know, that's why it made me laugh so much. It's like, dude, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was the other thing too. Yeah,
because that was the deal.
Anyways, back to the cinematic street fight. I think I told you this. It was kind of like my whole thing was like, if we need to do the cinematic style because we need to protect Sting, he shouldn't be an active member of the roster then.
So here's my take on this whole thing. They want to have Sting, and that's fine. And yet Sting is in a position where he can't wrestle. Like, really. He can do a bump here and there, but he can't. He probably can't do a full match. Okay, and so I'm going to compare him because of his legendary status to the Undertaker. All right, and the Boneyard match. Now the Boneyard match, yeah, I think the commentary sucked on it as well.
That would have helped too if they didn't do that.
But here's the thing. All right, the Undertaker worked all the way up to this point. And if you followed that last ride, you see that he's like, it's like it was a huge decision for him to even do it.
Yeah.
And they did it in such a way that it absolutely made sense. Whereas, because it was his last thing.
Yeah.
And so here comes Sting, and now they're going to have him do a cinematic match. The problem, I mean, is it going to be the last one? Probably not, because he's going to have to do something with Darby at some point, and he's going to have to do something with Cody at some point. And now I'm already tired of it, because as I mentioned to you when I'm watching, you can see the padding. They did a shit poor job covering and hiding the padding that they put on Sting.
Yeah, it was like Sting got bigger for this match.
and here's the thing. I'm 100% on. I love the memory of Sting. I was a WCW guy, right? And I love Starks, and I love Brian Cage. I know I'm not so much on Darby Allin. He's good. I just don't like him. This whole, if it would have just been the Taz crew against Darby, I would have been fine. But this whole idea now that they have to protect Sting so that he can do more of this shit, I'm sorry. It's
hey man,
very disappointing to me.
Screw you, Sting. Tully got in the damn ring. You can get in the ring. All right.
Yeah. But anyway, and then above and beyond that, And we mentioned this when we were every time, you know what?
If 2 weeks in a row, got a burn pop.
Somebody kills a guy in a nursing home, all bets are off.
Allegedly.
I mean, if they did a cinematic match in a nursing home with Sting, maybe I'd buy it.
If they did a cinematic, just replay of Ferg get choking out another senior citizen in the nursing home, I'd watch it.
He body slammed him to death. But the point is, it was also too long because we were texting about this too. It was too long.
It was like a 10-minute intro. I'm exaggerating, but it took like 5 to 6 minutes to get to the actual match starting. Now it was so much intro to it. Again, I get it. It's cool. You're doing something different. You don't have a full venue, but just for me, that's the one thing that's happened with wrestling during the pandemic is I'm just not a fan of cinematic matches. Unfortunately, I am a purist. I want to see it in the ring or just in the venue live. That's the whole point of wrestling. That's really great that I've always loved. And that is the fact that these guys are putting their bodies and lives on the line in these matches in front of you in person in real time. What we got there was just a movie or TV show,
The Orient.
But again, there was some cool spots in it too. The ending,
absolutely.
Darby and Cage. Was it Darby and Cage that went through the thing? Yeah. That made it look like they were dead after that. That was cool.
The Rockabye Baby into the window with Darby was. Here's the thing, you guys. Any of those cool spots, they weren't Sting. And what
the other thing too is it ended in the ring.
Well, first of all,
just did it in the ring.
But the whole thing, they should have called it something goddamn else other than a street fight. Because the first thing that popped into my mind, and you tell me if I'm wrong, when they said street fight, I immediately thought Best Friends in Santana Ortiz.
Yeah,
I immediately thought that, and I'm like. They're not going to live up to it, and they sure as fuck didn't.
No, and it didn't. I'll be the first to say that too. If you're going to compare those two street fights that AEW's done, the Best Friends and Santana Ortiz, and then the cinematic one with Team Taz and Darby Allin and Sting, man, that one on Dynamite was so much better. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that is true, Dan. I think it was with the Barstool show wrestling that Brandon Walker is doing for Barstool. He had Jericho on this last week or two, and they talked about the whole singing of Judas. And he said it started at the cruise that night. And he also said that was one of the greatest moments of his life. So we were all part of that. So that's cool. Very, very cool. Now, again, I just wasn't happy with that. Now, as we get into this main event, the championship, the exploding barbed wire death match, Kenny Omega versus John. What I want to say before we get into it is, it was a good match. John and Kenny worked their asses off in this match. I'm not mad at the match at all. I just question the reasons of doing and advertising a death match when you're not going to hold true to it, because it's so easily to tell on TV that, why did Jon Moxley just get, power bombed or whatever he did what did they do off the rope? Like a backbreaker or something he did when they went flying off, and he went back first on the plywood covered in barbed wire over the explosives. That was the biggest tell when he hit that, when he got up and got back in the ring, and there was not even a mark on his back, let alone what should have been just blood pouring out of his back, but there wasn't even really markings on his back.
Yeah.
From getting poked. That's where I'm just like, why are we advertising this as a death match? Why are we even doing we've already had 2 matches that had some sort of extreme rules with these guys. This seems to be kind of the blow off match for a while for these two. This should have been just a good ass. And you have 2 of the top wrestlers considered in this day and age, 2 of the top wrestlers in the world in a match together. This is their 3rd or 4th one. This should have been just a straight match. And it would have held its value, and it would have been just as good. And again, this is all not even adding in the dud of an ending that we got to with the bomb. But again, I don't want to take away from what Kenny and John did in the ring, though.
You ate a cat? That sounds bad, Jesse. If you ate a cat.
I got a bunch if you want it. I don't always let him eat it all. So,
yeah.
And what was it? The foot on the rope for the explosion to break up the pin. Maybe. Yeah, that was good too. And then again, they just didn't need the gimmick match. But the other thing too is you're going to show footage of the way that match is supposed to be. You're going to bring the masters of that match in to talk about it, to pump this match up. And they show in those footage these guys getting thrown in the rope and coming off and just gashes and blood.
Because they were using real stuff.
Yet you see these guys hitting it and they're not even getting a little puncture wound. The most blood we got, and again, I didn't even want blood. We've talked about this many times on this show when there's spots, especially with Cody in the last year and a half on AEW. I don't need the blood. I really don't. I'm fine with just a good wrestling match. But if you're going to sell me on an exploding barbed wire death match, and quickly into this match, we can tell that none of it's really doing anything to them, and the most blood we got in this whole match was the blade job Moxley did to himself.
Yeah, and then Kenny got himself too.
But like, I don't know. Like I said, it just wasn't. This should have just been a title match, a damn good title match, and it was still a damn good match because you had two amazing performers and they're going to town. If you're not gonna do how you're saying you're gonna do it, though, then don't do it. That's my thing. Just don't do a death match if you're not gonna.
And then we close it off with the
dud heard around the world.
Dan's already mentioned it. The backtracking that they did over it. And it's like, I feel the person I feel worse for is Eddie Kingston, because that with him doing that, I mean, it made perfect sense. It was great. It was kind of a redemption deal for him. But when he's laying on top of him and fucking sparklers go off, and he still lays there, it's just like, dude, I got to give him credit for not breaking.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, dude, you act like you're fucking dead. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, oh, look, somebody hit me with a pinwheel. I mean,
it was so underwhelming.
And you mentioned they got booed.
It did. If you guys didn't watch it, when
go back and listen, they got booed.
The crowd there booed. It wasn't good.
No, it was Bernie Carbo.
Right. It was just, and I felt bad all around for AEW and all involved in that, because obviously that wasn't what was planned to go down from what everybody's been hearing. But man, was that just like, yeah, that's what I heard too, is that it worked in testing. That like the actual just explosive they used under the ring for that one just literally was a dud. It didn't go off. Reports are too that Kenny Omega was pretty heated over the
absolutely
matter.
Pissed.
Because now too, you know, the other thing too is now, like, that really was trying to tell the story of what we were going to get for Dynamite now. Coming out of this pay-per-view, as far as we may not see Moxley because Renee is pregnant and very close to due date, I'm assuming. So the talk was he may not be coming back and maybe taking some time off after that match. You're then setting up Eddie for redemption, and which I would hope means also a run at Omega, because I will be all for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was totally the Gilbert sparkler explosion. It was totally. That's why I said they should have. It's like they signed Gilbert and let his pyro go off at the main event, though. And it should have been him instead of Christian. How great would that have been if he just came out when that happened? The countdown just goes to 0, that goes off, and he just comes walking out. Ah! Like, I would have popped so hard. I would have. But it was just, I felt bad, man. And then, Moxley did a good job covering it. I guess, I don't know. We'll see what they do on Wednesday. But the whole, like, oh, Kenny Omega can't build an exploding ring for shit. And then Tony Khan following in suit. But at the end of the day, it's like, come on, that wasn't what it was. But you can't justifiably tell me that was what was planned. So it's like, we know that's not the deal.
No. But having said that, having paid my money to watch the damn thing, all right, it started up here and progressively kind of, there was a little dip, and then it was a little snow hill for me. And it isn't that I it isn't that I have anything against those wrestlers. I'm with you 100%. But the whole thing is, how do you? I mean, it was so gigantically messed up, and they had no way to improvise for it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, in so many cases, and you know this about wrestlers, man, they are so good at improvising and doing stuff on the fly that when it's like, this is what's going to happen. It's going to explode.
Yeah, and when you have no microphone in hand and stuff, and that happens,
and now you're screwed.
Where do you go?
And I'm not blaming them.
It's just unfortunate.
It's like it's a production thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so sad that it happened, because it really and I got to be honest, when that happened right after the Sting thing, and Ace can tell you, while we're texting, I was really disappointed.
Yeah, it soured the end of the show a little bit for sure. Again, it brings me back to that title match at the end. Didn't need to be a gimmicky match. Like, at this point, they've done so many of these matches. We've seen them go through the barbed wire before. We saw them go through the table. We've seen a lot of things from Kenny and John that at this point, all I really wanted was just one hell of a wrestling match for that title. And we still got a hell of a match. It's just the gimmicky parts of it that failed it is what kind of ruined it for me.
Here's the thing. For me, if we didn't do all of that business, if we just had the match, like you said, and Kenny hit him with 3 one-winged angels and kept Z triggering his head, and to the point where it's like, oh my God, Jon Moxley is out. Yeah. Jon Moxley is concussed. Jon Moxley is in bad shape. He could have started bleeding from his mouth. And I would have been much more satisfied with that ending than what happened. Again, I know that was how it is, but I would have liked that a lot more.
Well, and then the other, a good comparison, just to put into perspective what I'm talking about, again, because I want to be very clear. I enjoyed the match, and Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley did an amazing job in that match. They did. But then you look at Sheamus and Drew McIntyre on Monday Night Raw, and you see the pictures of their bodies after that match and how welted up they are. Mm-hmm. They didn't have no barbed wire or explosives in that match. It was just a no-holds-bar match, and they looked like they were so much more beat up than Moxley and Omega did coming out of this barbed wire death match. And that's where I have an issue. Don't advertise something that you're going to do, but then super kayfabe it, and then that's just like, it's painfully easy to tell that, well, none of this is really going to hurt them. Not saying I want them to be hurt, but you're telling me we're going to see this match, and if you look at those matches from the 80s and 90s, people got hurt. They were no joke. The explosives are the explosives. Let me also say that, like, those things aren't going to really hurt them unless they really catch the spark part that's going to go and it's going to burn them. But like, it's not like they're going to actually get blown up. They're all pretty just mild explosive. This the same shit you see at concerts and stuff. Yeah. Not a huge deal, but it's just, man, yeah, no contest DQ match because they ran the stairs into each other's heads. It was a weird ending. It was really, when they were I was like, why are they acting so like knocked that, like, they hit each other with the stairs all the time? Like, plus I just giggle because we all know that those aren't like super like steel steps like they try to make it sound. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's just funny when they use those as a thing. But the gimmicky stuff and the prop stuff, it can be pretty comical. During that ladder match, when they showed the ring, like, my first thought was like, holy shit, it's like Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of funny.
But don't you think they did that on purpose?
Oh, more than likely. Oh, no. And so I was explaining that to somebody that's like a direct, in my opinion, I think that's a direct throw at WWE. And that's because, that was the thing Vince would always tell everybody. You want to be a star, you got to grab the brass rings.
Yeah.
That was a thing he said. Like, was it Attitude Era promo? He said it.
Yeah, I think so.
It was like late 90s, early 2000s when he did the promo where it was like, you got to grab the brass rings. And that's just the thing he tells people backstage. It's known. So to see that giant, over comically giant brass ring hanging above that thing,
It looked like a life preserver.
I was just gonna say, like, Scorpio Sky could have put it on. Sky could have walked out wearing it around his hips. He probably could. But by the way, Scorpio Sky winning that also awesome.
That's awesome.
That dude deserves a singles push for sure.
Well, and here's the thing. Maybe Darby Allin doesn't need the belt anymore, and maybe he'll just take it off him right now.
I would, they could do it, and I don't think anyone would be mad because I really do think that's the thing. Yeah, that's the rumor, Dan. After, I think it was at Mania, after Mania, NXT is supposedly moving to Tuesday nights, which I'm all for, except for the fact that it's going to interfere with our show now. But
well, what's new? We'll have to. Well, honestly, I think it'll do good for both of them because they both have proven to do better when one or the other of them isn't on. So I think that I'm surprised they didn't do it long before this. But I think a lot of that's probably Vince saying, we're going to beat them.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's really what it came down to too. Is I think they realized, like, instead of trying to fight them for ratings, let's just move it because then we'll get their audience too. Yeah, because we're fans. We're gonna watch them. Yeah, Dan, it interferes with Impact. That's true. I think they'll be okay. That's my question though. What the hell's going on with the whole supposedly the Forbidden Doors broken down and we're getting Impact and New Japan and all of them working together? That kind of just stopped.
Yeah,
last week.
I don't know why. Obviously, hockey is huge. That's right. And of course we're here in the great state of hockey, where our team sucks, sort of. But
no. Wild are actually kicking ass this season, bro. Yes.
Are they?
Yes, they're actually doing good. They got a winning record.
How come I haven't heard about it?
That's probably why no one's bitching about them right now.
Yeah, that might be. No, well, okay.
Yeah, they've been winning, dude. They're doing real good, man.
So let me ask you this: are they beating the Winnipeg Jets?
I don't know. I haven't, dude. I've been meaning to start.
Here's the thing, because here's what happens. They it's a W that's shaped like a wolf. Come on, man.
I was told it's a bear.
It's a wolf.
I was told it was a bear.
By who?
Some guy who has season tickets for them.
Oh, the AEW.
But have you seen the actual mascot? Their actual mascot, the guy Nordy, when he runs around, it's like even him. You look at him, and you're like, what are you? It's like a bear, bobcat, and like a dog all mated together.
Here's the thing with the Wild. Okay, here's the thing with the Wild. They unless it doesn't make any difference. They always end up in the playoffs, if they get to the playoffs, having to face the Winnipeg Jets. And the Jets are always too fast for them. End of story.
Dude, so do you remember the very first year the Wild had their first playoff run as a team?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bear Tree Kruger, you're exactly right.
Jason, that's a linking hog throb. I like that. That's kind of a Good Brothers type of
Yeah, go Avs. Dude, I got to go. So when they had their first run, because the team started in 2000 up here in Minnesota, because we were all heartbroken to see the North Stars leave. I had no idea what the Bear until I didn't know either until someone told me. My boss at the time, dude, had season tickets. He was on the list for when they started, so he had season tickets the day it opened.
Oh wow!
And they weren't awesome. They actually were really good. They were upper deck, but they were over the gold second row, so you were just looking down on the ice. It was perfect, dude. And I bought 20 games from him for the first 2 seasons because I worked for him. So and they were and at the time they were $15 a ticket.
Oh,
so it was dirt cheap, dude. Back in the day, I still have all the ticket stubs. But the second year or third year they were around is when they made the playoff run, where they the first round was, I think, Colorado. Sorry, guys. I know we got some fans in here. And it was we're never going to beat the Avalanche. Game 7, we beat the fucking Avalanche. And what? And then it's Bertuzzi, who was it? The Vancouver Canucks. And then even what was it? Todd Bertuzzi came out and said, "Oh, playing the Wild, Minnesota Wild, Minnesota. Don't even spend your money on buying tickets.
I'll send you a link, Dan.
This will be a quick. It'll be a quick series." And they pushed them to 7 and beat them. But I was at Game 6 of the second round against Vancouver, dude, and that place was electric, dude. And they beat them like 3-1 or 4-2 or something. Yeah, I bet. Man, Colorado and a Jersey fan. That's crazy. Both are decent teams though. Yeah, man, that was crazy too. The cool thing was that Todd Bertuzzi made the comment about like no one buy tickets to all the Minnesota fans because we're gonna beat you guys. You're not even gonna come home. So when we were at the game, check this out, JR. Todd Bertuzzi's warming up, right? The teams are out there shooting, they're warming up. He flips a puck up and drops it over the glass for this little kid who was sitting like second row, right? And the camera just happens to be on them on the big screen in the arena while they're doing all these warm-ups. And so the little kid catches the puck and Todd Bertuzzi, again, the same guy who's just like, Minnesota, don't waste your money on tickets. He waves at the kid like, hey, cool. Yeah, and Bertuzzi's, right. He should have been thrown out of the league. This little kid also, and they have it. It was all on camera on the big screen, like, and you can tell it wasn't planned because the dad was like, "What?" This little kid just looks at the puck and looked at Todd Bertuzzi and throws it at him over the wall, over the glass, back onto the ice. The arena erupts, and again, this is just warm-ups. The arena erupts, and this kid is just getting cheered, and his dad's just like, "What the hell?" And the kid's just like, "Hey!" And like, even Bertuzzi was on the ice. They showed him, and he was just laughing his ass off. Like, what? The kid threw the puck back? Dude, it was hilarious, dude. I've seen some cool stuff at these games, man. I saw a puck go over the glass at a Wild game, and it literally went in someone's little cocktail glass. I saw a Detroit Red Wing and a Minnesota Wild fan get into a fist fight in the lower level under us. Was awesome.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. It's the I've been disappointed by Minnesota sports teams more times in my life than I'm glad I've had sex.
Man, I'm
well, think about sorry. No, it's just a lot of disappointment.
Yeah, that's why I said I just feel sorry for you now. That's too bad, bro.
Think about this. The
I don't know if I want to think about how disappointing your sex is.
No. Think about this. The Minnesota Twins won 2 World Series. I have 2 kids.
Were they born in those years?
One was
because what was it, 87 and 91?
87 and 91. He's actually born in 88.
What was it? 87 was
87.
Cardinal. 87 was Cardinals. 92 was the Braves, right?
Yeah. Against the Cardinals, game 5 was on my wedding day.
Ooh.
Which was awesome.
Kirby Puckett.
Yep. And the Lynx, they're the Minnesota team. You gotta ride the Lynx, baby.
Good for them.
And
better athletes than I am. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's hard, man. I've been in Minnesota most of my life. I wasn't born here. I'm not a huge baseball guy, so I never really, and when I was a baseball guy, it was because of Ken Griffey Jr. So I've kind of always just migrated towards the Mariners. Now I just don't care. I'll cheer for the Twins if I'm at a game, but I don't really watch the baseball. Hockey, I'm a huge Wild guy. I'm a huge soccer, so I'm a huge United fan for the Minnesota team up here. Basketball, I like basketball, but the Wolves are just so god awful every year. Like, they literally have the lowest record of the year right now, in the NBA. They're awful. It's never going to be like it was when Garnett and like Marbury and all them were here. And then the big one that I catch all my grief for, and this, is I will never ever cheer for the Minnesota Vikings. you'll see me die before that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a Cowboys guy. I will always be a Dallas Cowboys guy, which, by the way, Dak got paid, yo. Dak got paid.
He did. That was crazy. So what was it? Was it 160?
Something like that. He's got a guarantee for like 128 mil.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
It's ridiculous.
4-year deal. That ankle better not fucking blow out. Oh my god,
man.
Oh my god. If that happens again this next season to him, I might die. Oh my god. My wife. Oh, what's this? Ex-wife at April for his WrestleMania 6. Kids are born now. That's hilarious. Hell yeah. God, WrestleMania 6. That was, where was that at? God, WrestleMania 6. Which one was that? That wasn't. Kiss. Let me know. Do you remember WrestleMania?
Kiss is Dan.
Hogan Warrior. Oh, okay, Dan. Okay, so Dan. So that was Toronto, right? Hogan Warrior, Skydome. That's crazy. I think that's correct.
Yeah, Dan used his closer.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There it is.
Flying Wiener. Oh yeah.
He just came running at her like the Warrior after the match was over in the hotel. Were you celebrating because Hogan lost? That's what I want to know. Like, Hogan lost. I'm ready, baby. Let's do it. I cried. I was a little kid, so when Hogan lost, I cried. I was like, and then like a year later, I was like, oh wait, I don't even like Hogan anymore.
That's how you are.
Hey man, I grew up as a Hulkamaniac. I just did.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm older. I did too, but it was different then. Mm-hmm. There was a certain, like in the you guys correct me if I'm wrong because you were there too. There was in wrestling there he had a certain charisma and coolness about him that really didn't happen again until like for me, The Rock, to be honest. I mean, Stone Cold was Stone Cold. It was a different kind of charisma that Stone Cold had than Rock did.
Yeah, Stone Cold was more in your face and obviously was like, the whole F you flipping people off. If he wasn't that and did what he did, he would have probably reached the heights of Hogan. The reason why Hogan was like that is because, he was kid friendly, everyone can like him. And that's why The Rock was like that when he was a face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, the Dingo Warrior. That's right, man. That's right. Bonesaw, yeah. Dude, I still to this day, like whenever I see the stuff from Warrior at the Hall of Fame and that Raw, it's just, it's so creepy. It's just creepy because being at that Raw that night and remembering telling my friends, like, does anybody else think he doesn't look good? Like, he's struggling to get through this promo. Like, he can't breathe. Like, no one else is seeing how red he is in the ring right now. He can't even shake the ropes. Like, that was the conversation I was having with my friends in the arena in New Orleans that night. And then the next day he died. And it was just like, oh.
I wonder if they'll do a Dark Side of the Ring on the Ultimate Warrior.
Maybe. I don't know. Next season is coming out.
It's I haven't looked to see when it is, but I'm excited for it.
They're doing some specials right now, and I think they're doing a couple of them or a few of them over the next month or two. I think I heard the Plane Ride from Hell is going to be one of the ones for the new season.
That'll be awesome.
I think they said they have JR doing interviewed for that one. That's the only one I think I've heard though. Man, that's a great show. Another great show if you want to just get a good feel of like wrestling back then. Dude, the Young Rock is pretty good.
Yeah.
It really is. I enjoy that show. Yeah. Yeah. Zoomhoff. Oh my god.
You know what? That actually, I mean, if he was a bigger star, JJ, Jesse, thank you so much for hanging out.
Jesse,
brother.
be good.
Probably I will I actually got told that I'm working tomorrow, which is beyond me because it's not going to be cold enough, but I'll probably see you on Thursday, Jess, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
Warrior and Earthquake.
The beauty of house shows where they work their matches out.
Dude. So much.
Dude, Buck Zoomhoff, man. That guy He is a freaking creep, dude. Like, okay, so like the bar I used to work at back in the day, you know it, Mickey's, that used to be around. We would do midget wrestling every once in a while. We'd bring it in, and it was Buck Zumoff who was the promoter.
Oh,
and like, so I've met him a few times, and every time I was just like, "You're a freaking creep. Like, I don't like you. Something about you isn't right. I don't like you. You're creepy. You're just not cool, man." Like, I even told the owners, I'm like, "This guy's like, I don't know, watch out for him." Because at the time, we were also doing stuff with a guy named Dale Gagne. Some of you may know who he is. Some of you maybe not. But Dale Gagne, he's done some stuff promoting too. I think more notably, he kind of got Justin Roberts broke into the business and into WWE, the ring announcer who's now in AEW. And that was actually my link. That's how I've met Justin Roberts, was through Dale. But Dale brought like legit shows. You know, when I was hanging out, when Sergeant Slaughter got kicked out of the show I was at, that he was being a dick to us at, and was hanging out with Zbyszko and Bockwinkel, that was Dale Gagne who did that show. Nice. So then we got, oh, okay, nice. And then you got this Buck Zumoff character who's bringing this midget wrestling in and bikini oil wrestling in. And it was just this rinky dink. So you know how big that bar was that I worked. They put the ring in front of my dance floor. On my dance floor. Are you
shitting me?
Like, that's how small the ring was. It fit on there. You couldn't even
get around it.
You barely could. It was tight. And it was just, and he would bring a midget. He would bring a giant guy. He'd bring the girls to do the oil rest. It was just a really just sketchy. And it would just, it was 100% carny. 100% carny. They acted that way. It was just, man, it was weird. It was just kind of.
Is he still in jail?
Oh, I think he's there for life, isn't he? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what. I don't remember what his sentence was.
So, I mean, he was sexually assaulting his own daughter, so I'm pretty sure he's. Oh, nice, Zbyszko. That's my boy, dude. Larry Land. That's one of the guys that got me into wrestling. One of the first person I ever saw live.
You know what? They did look very, very similar, Dan.
Yeah, they did.
Similar.
They really did.
He is in it for life. Yeah, Joey Ryan. There's your dream match. Joey Ryan versus Buck Zumoff.
No shit. Those two can hang out in jail together someday. I will admit though, like, nothing criminally has been brought on Joey Ryan. But the fact I don't remember. Did we talk about that last week?
A little bit.
Yeah, the fact that he's
the women's.
Just ridiculous. Now he's dropped all the cases against everybody but Impact. It's just like, dude, you shouldn't have even had cases against him in the first place. And then also, the New Japan scrapped all the Marty Scurll angle they taped.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they scrapped it, and they're not going to work with him.
It's too bad. Take the man.
You should. Yeah, and it's just, you know, comes down to don't be a creep in this business, and your reputation won't be destroyed. That's what it comes down to. So
yeah,
I don't know, man, but
be a good human. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just be cool, man.
You know,
it's be cool.
It's amazing. Anything that we missed that you want to talk about?
No, but you want to hear a crazy carny story? We can end the show on this crazy carny story I have.
Let's do it.
Okay, so you know where I live, there's a lot of small towns. You know this, JR, because you've lived in my town. So Casson is a town that was not far from where I live.
Yeah, 20 miles, 15, 20.
Yeah, and I got a friend. His dad had a bar out there. So some of us worked there. Some of us would just go hang out there sometimes. So we're out there one night. It's like a Thursday night, Friday night. It's maybe not. Maybe it's like a Sunday. It's dead. It's slow. The fair has just rolled into town for Casson. Okay.
Ooh, yes.
This is one of like the only 2 or 3 bars in this town. So we're out there playing like pool and just hanging out with our buddies. You know, we know everybody. In walks these 4 people. It's some dude, 2 chicks, and a midget. Small person. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember. Brad, if you see this, sorry. I don't mean to offend. And so as the night's going on, we're shooting there, drinking, playing pool, and we're watching them. And it's very easy to tell that, like, oh, they're from the carnival. They're definitely here working with the fair. They're getting drunk, and we start noticing that like this midget dude, the small guy, is getting play like hardcore from both chicks. So what's happening is that they would smoke and stuff. So like the guy would be like, hey, you want to go have a cigarette with me, to like one of the girls. So they'd go out back and smoke. And then little man is now like making out with the other chick at the bar, like, and not like just like they're kind of kissing and it's in front of, like, it's getting gross. They're like making out. And again, the regular sized girls, and it's a little person, and like this little dude's just, you know, whatever. They come back in. The girl he was making out with now all of a sudden goes to the bathroom. She's in there. He now is just making out, getting down with this other girl. They come back. They do some more drinks. They're all having fun. Next thing you know, like, dude tells the other girl, like, you want to go to a cigarette with me? I want to smoke again. They go. He starts making out with the other girl again. Like, literally for like 3 hours in this bar, this is going on. That, like, this midget guy is literally rotating these two chicks. Whenever one left to go do a smoke or do whatever, and they weren't and wasn't around, he's like macking and just like going to town, to the point that eventually he's like finger blasting one of them. And this is right at the bar. Just at the bar, like, we're watching all of this, just finger blasting the one chick, and that's when he gets caught. The one walks back in from smoke, sees that this dude's got his hand, and again, it's a little guy, so I don't know, maybe he was fisting her. I probably just felt like a finger for them, but so he gets caught by the chick over this, and I shit you not, it turns into the craziest, just crazy girl, like carny girl fight I've ever seen.
Oh my god!
And it was all over the little guy, like literally, like, fuck you, that's my man. No, it's my man. Fuck you, bitch. And and this dude's just like, oh no, and like they just
he has zero blame. They're just after each other.
Oh yeah, he's so just like,
what?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how my hand ended up in her pussy. I don't know. Like, I don't know how her vagina found me.
Well, I was opening up a bottle of beer, and one thing led to another.
Oh yeah, so then it turns into this fight with these two chicks. I think, if I remember correctly, some other people end up getting involved, so we end up helping the staff kind of clear things up, because again, we're friends with the owners. And like, we were like, you guys got to just go. It was the craziest thing I ever seen. Like, to just be shooting pool, and then all of a sudden, after focusing on my shot, to look up and just, there's some little midget guy just finger blasting away on this chick, just right there. And it's just like, what is going on tonight, everybody? Like, what? And it was slower, so it wasn't like packed, so it didn't garner as much attention as it would if it was a busy bar. Mm-hmm. But like, we were all just like, you guys see this, right? Like, and we worked in the bar business, dude.
Yeah,
you see some shit like that. But I mean, to just see the carny aspect, and then it was all over this little midget guy who apparently, like, dude had game or a giant dong, because these chicks were like not willing to share him.
Oh my god.
It was crazy. Oh my god. Dude, I'll never forget it. Anyways, that was my crazy carny midget chick fight story.
That's a fantastic crazy carny midget chick story. I don't have one to beat that. So I just want to say thanks to all of you that are watching. We appreciate it. We will probably we'll do a trial when we both have some time. It won't be, if we can get a trial done before next Tuesday, we may do the next show right on Twitch. Exclusively. We'll just depend on what our schedules are, but we appreciate it. And if you haven't done so already, please hit us for a follow, because if we can start with 50, we're really close to one of the goals already. And like I said, we were only 6 away the last time I looked. So we'll be able to do a lot more fun stuff and play a lot more stuff on. You were not the only one. We would get one or two, Dan. But we appreciate you making the move over.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll do that on Tuesdays, and then we'll probably, I think what Ace is going to find is it's going to be a little bit easier. We'll be able to do some more Yeah, you guys are all mods. Everybody that I know is going to be a mod.
I don't even know what a mod is yet, but JJ,
you need
be a mod.
You need mods.
You're in,
well, you need mods on birthdays. You need mods. That's all you need. You got to have mods because you have trolls. See, it's the battle. It's like you're at a pay-per-view and the mods are against the trolls and everybody else is kind of the
so they're like our lumberjacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
Well, trolls are fun. We've had trolls. Well, sometimes trolls are hilarious. Goro is. I'm gonna have to send him an email because he's not with us every week. But good God, that guy has some of the craziest. Exactly. Well, see, that's it. We need them. We need good ones, Ellie.
Yeah, damn. I'm all about it.
But Goro, god dang, man, that guy is spot on with his jokes about JJ. JJ, you'll appreciate it for sure. I know. All right.
Hell yeah. I'm down.
There you go. And delete spam and chat. Awesome. See, I don't know.
Thanks for learning me, Ellie.
I'm not a mod, Ellie. I'm an old guy who has a mic on and a camera, and shit happens.
See, that's the thing. We're radio guys. We don't know that. We know how to turn a mic on and entertain everybody, guys. That's what we're here to do.
Well, like I said, at least
for me, that's my thing. I'm not good on the tech side.
I've learned to do so much more shit, you guys. He's freaking hilarious. And some of the shit, I just love the fact that he hops in there and has these the references are old, but they're not that old. And he's not an old guy. We had him on with us and he's not that old a guy. And so, anyway, yeah, exactly. Crap works. We need,
hell yeah. Well, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for our move to Twitter or Twitch. Sorry, it's going to be great.
I've got so much stuff. It's all.
So here's the cool thing too, guys. Is me and JR have already been talking. We're going to try to do some other cool things. Like we might start doing our own pre-shows. Since I don't watch most of them, we might start doing our own pre-shows into pay-per-views or big events. Yeah, we might just do some cool stuff on there, some watch longs, whatever. We're going to have fun with it though.
I don't have any of the Nightbot shit set up, Rusty. So it is useless, but we'll get her done. I can't see. Yeah.
Hitler.
And for sure, I think so. What we're going to do is we're planning to do a watch along. We're not going to broadcast the WrestleMania show. We're going to do it one night because it's 2 nights, but we're gonna watch it. And that one I know what that one is. That's what I'm famous for. But we're going to watch WrestleMania long, and then we'll do our commentary, and you guys can pipe in if you want to watch. And if
we'll do live reaction.
We'll do a live reaction kind of thing, and just do that for fun, because I think it'll be Lobster Game. If you don't know what that is, you got to listen to Twitch Talk with Corey Adam. He's on someday. See, that's the thing. It's like we got to figure out times, because I don't want to. I don't want to get in his way, and we're already in his way a little bit. But he's got so many people listening.
Yeah, he can share them. We got to hit those wrestling things. So
we'll get this all nailed down. And then I'm probably, just so you guys know, since it's all set up now, I'm probably going to do some stuff on my own as well. Because I was interviewing comics at the start of the pandemic, and I really liked that, and I just got fucking tired of it. Oh, there you go. Fell on a bag of taxes. That's right. See, it wasn't tax. It's taxes. That's why it's funny. But anyway, we're not gonna. Yeah, we can't do that. We already know that. But
we won't. It'll just be a live reaction. We'll just have it on
while it's on.
You won't hear the audio. You just hear us talking, and you guys talking with us about it if you're watching.
Yeah, actually, I should be able to split screen and watch it on one end and watch the Twitch on the anyway. So you have, just to remind people, you've got the kind of the review of the trip that Wes Briscoe did with his fiance Red Velvet to the last Dynamite coming up this week, right on Thursday.
Yeah. Thursday, 7 p.m. Central on the Briscoe and Big A Show YouTube channel and Facebook. We'll have the premiere of our next episode. Wes is going to Puerto Rico next week for some vacay, so we did a recording of one, and we're going to do another recording for next week. But so no live shows, but we're going to try to get a guest on here soon too. We got some people we want to talk to. But yeah, this week we kind of talk about just his trip and Red's trip over to the show for Dynamite. Very big show for her. Very big show for West, you know. I mean, he's a dude that, like, if you're in his life and he cares for you, it's like an all-in type of deal. Yeah. So like, it was fun to pick his brain and his of his emotions while watching that match live, and watching his girl go. You know, I specifically was like, how nervous were you when she went on the top rope? And he was like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean. And so it was really cool. The only thing that sucked with that whole night, guys, and Red Velvet kicked it because we didn't actually talk about that. I didn't realize that. I forgot that happened after our show last week. So yeah. The whole Shaq match, everything was good about that, but Red Velvet just was a star. Really, her and Jade both were great. The only thing that sucked is that table spot kind of cost the spear moment from Red, and that was a cool moment. It was just a cool moment to see her get that spot. I thought that was going to be the finish, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to get the win. But yeah, man, dude, Red killed it. I'm so happy for her, so proud for her and Wes, and just, you know, man, that was a big stat. I think it was 1.8 or 1.18 mil. Like, that was the highest rated thing of the show. I mean, it was the eyes on that match alone that night is definitely going to be able to kind of prop her into a great position. Yeah. And she killed it. That was the thing. Yeah. She killed it. She came out in fresh gear. The music, the just the entrance, I mean, she killed it. The minute she was on camera, she was in boss mode. You know what I mean? She just had that, and the flip off the top rope was perfect. Yeah. Nailed it on the feet, straight up and down, just a perfect landing. The spear, I know, was great. Like, and the cool thing is, she didn't use her own finisher in this match, so hopefully maybe another one-on-one match with her and Jade. To be honest, hopefully I'd love to see Red get into that title picture. But man, what a night for her. I was so happy for them.
I'll tell you, first of all, she is going to have to make sure that she buys Cody and Brandy's baby a really, really nice gift. Because can you imagine?
You know what she can buy her? I'll tell you. She can buy that baby a brand new Red Velvet AEW shirt. Get them now at AEWshop.com.
There you go.
Red Velvet t-shirts for sale.
But honestly, can you imagine? I can't imagine that match being better than it was with her if Brandy was in there, to be honest.
No, to be honest, and I don't want to throw shade at any of them, but like I like Brandy, I really do. But like, I do feel Red's probably better in ring. Yeah. So I do feel we got a better showing between her and Jade. Plus the sheer just the physicality of it, of the height difference, the size difference, but to see Red not let that be a thing. Like, they did a really good job of making Red Velvet look tough in this match, even though she was, you know, Jade double her size and all that. So
I will say also, did it feel odd to you or strange to you after seeing them do so well on Dynamite to see them both just standing by the rail for Revolution?
At the pay-per-view,
it was a little weird.
Bummed me out. It bummed me out. You know, and it bummed me out too, just because it's like, in all reality, they should have been on that show.
They should have been on that show, and if they weren't going to be on that show, they should have had them. They shouldn't have put them on camera.
No, I don't know if you noticed it though. Jade was out there the whole time. Red wasn't. There was times where she wasn't. She was in back. So I don't know if she was doing anything else. That was a moment though where like they should have jumped out and helped Sheeta and Rio when Nyla came out. Like, they were both there, and I was like, it'd be great if they both jump in, help that, and then next thing you know, they kind of go, and there you go. You're now setting up like, oh, we got like a 4 or 5 way for not necessarily a match, but now you got other people in this title picture, not just the same people it's been. So I was thinking that too, and it was kind of a bummer. But in reality, when you really look at it though, and what it would do for her and even Jade, being that this was a big match for those two, it's almost better it was on TV. More eyes were going to be on it because it was free.
Right.
You didn't have to pay $50.
I agree.
So, yeah, man. Like I said, I couldn't be happier for them. Yeah, man. That was just it was awesome. I can't wait to see more of what they're going to let her do. So
it's exciting. All right. For myself, the next big thing I have coming up is I'm going to get my knee looked at on Saturday, March 20th. I don't know what I did to it. It feels like and sounds like and acts like it's an ACL thing. So I hope I don't have to have surgery, but I might. So that's bad when it's an old guy. Bad news, but I gotta do it because it's tough walking. And I've got the big dance marathon I'm producing. If you want to watch that, University of Arkansas. That's where we're going to be doing that. I don't even know what it's going to be. To be honest, I've never done one. Yeah,
that sucks, Ellie.
Knee sucks, Ellie. It's the worst.
Yeah.
And I've had it happened a month and maybe 6 weeks ago. And yeah, I do too. I mean, it's not to get into the whole thing, but I mean, it's I can tell something it's something that's not just, I mean, my mom keeps saying, "Oh, put ice on it." Mom. It's something a little more than that. So I'm hoping maybe I got a little something floating in there and they can scope it out. Or
just cut it off
from the knee down.
Or at the nubs.
Yeah, or at the very worst, it's ACL and they can fix that. But whatever.
You got another one?
I got a perfectly good one. They can just, I'll just duplicate it and copy paste it.
It'd be like that one guy. What was his name? Gosh, the one-legged wrestler that WWE brought in that one time. What was his name? Dude, I saw that kid and I cannot remember his name, but it was if anybody watching remembers the guy's name of the one-legged wrestler that WWE signed at one point. Zach Gowen. That is it. Thank you. Dude, that guy came to Rochester and did a match. I don't know if you remember this. It was at the bar I worked at, and it was unfortunately we had Baron Von Raschke, we had a bunch of people there, and unfortunately, no one came. But this kid and someone else were in the main event, and there was literally 6 of us there, and dude, Zach Gowen was flipping over, and it was in the parking lot, was flipping over the ring and falling onto the white plastic chairs we had set up out there.
Oh wow!
Gashed his back up and then was hopping around on his way. It was crazy, man. It was cool talking to him though, because it was just dude, that's good for you, man.
Yeah,
good for you. I don't remember the guy's name that AEW had in that battle royal that one time who has no legs.
Oh, no legs. Yeah.
That's his name. No legs.
No legs. McGee. Ellie, you did martial arts. You kicking shit too hard. You got to pace yourself when you're kicking shit.
Ellie, can you kick his knee into better feelings? Can you do that?
Doubtful.
Dustin Thomas, that's right. Yeah.
I love the fact that when we forget shit because we're old, everybody else remembers it.
I've just got bad memory, man. I just really do. I can't remember anything anymore.
I remember a lot. I
mean, but it's worth a try, Ellie.
No, it isn't. It isn't. I don't need to be kicked.
Just sell it well, JR.
I honestly, well. So I got the 2 grandkids. So my no-legged guy laying in the ring, Matt. He's got it. Ah, well, there you go. Yeah.
Thank you, Erica.
So my granddaughter, who is smaller, are you kidding me, Dad? That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Abort that plan.
Yeah. So I'm de-icing tomorrow night, I guess, even though it's going to be warm, and I think it's supposed to rain all day. So that's going to be interesting. But maybe they just feel bad for me and like, come on in. We don't want to have too many big Wisconsinites. I always I used to say when I do shows in Wisconsin, they call me average.
Oh,
But yeah, it doesn't go
Midwest humor.
Doesn't go over well in Wisconsin. Oh wow, that's interesting.
Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, it's like what's I can't remember. there was a one-legged something like that. I remember there was a one-legged wrestler, and I can't remember if it was in Iowa. I can't remember where it was. And it was like the state finals or some shit. But here comes this one-legged guy. And all of a sudden, all the douchebags that I was with, and I probably did too, start yelling, "Sweep the leg! Sweep the leg!"
Ah, you jerks.
I know. Wasn't his
jerks.
Anyway, all right. It's a 3-leg hauling tripod. That's a nice dog name. Anyway, we've done enough. I think we're almost on 2 hours, and we appreciate you guys so much. If you and I know most of you probably already have, but if you haven't, give us a quick follow on the Twitch if you're not there, and if you don't have that, we'll send you over to Twitch. You can track us down, and we'll before we make the move, we'll let you know in some way, shape, or form. We probably have all of your phone numbers anyway. Or email phone numbers or emails. I'm serious. But that'll be awesome. And I'm really excited to get over there because I'm just so happy to start working with a little bit different equipment.
Yeah, man, it's going to be cool. We also got social media, so make sure you guys find us on Facebook, Twitter. I think that's all we got.
That's all there is. Yeah, we don't take.
I was going to say, I don't think we have an Instagram. So
I don't have an Instagram. I'm not a girl.
Hey.
Do you have an Instagram?
I do. I like my Instagram.
Well, you also have a
cat. Damn it, and most of my Instagram's my cat. You're right. It's either cat or wrestling. Yeah. Also, it's hilarious. MySpace or nothing, baby. Tom's my best friend.
Still my friend.
You guys can be in my top 8. That's hilarious. No, yeah. So follow us on those things because I'll post stuff for shows on there too, and we'll post on our social media.
That's why you need to be a mod, Rusty.
Right. Yeah, and then you can follow me on Twitter too, guys. I like to tweet about wrestling shows and just stupid stuff, so you can follow me on Twitter too. That's Big Ace for Life. Big Ace, the number 4 life. You can find me on Twitter. Nice.
And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's just JR Comedy.
Hell yeah, follow them up, guys.
At JR Comedy. But anyway,
I can't even remember my MySpace logins. I would never be able to do it at this point.
My MySpace was all bedazzled as shit. It was like, what? And the only reason I was ever on there was because at the point that was on, that's okay, Dan.
That's okay.
You don't got to follow everything, man.
Dan, you and I are friends on Facebook, though, so we're cool, bro. Yeah, good old Tom.
I have all the friends that died. Oh, Google remembers that shit.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh man! All right, JJ, guys, be good.
JJ, take care, you guys. We appreciate everybody very much, yes. And we'll look forward to seeing you all. I'm gonna try a little bit here because I worked on a little bit different. You too, Ellie. Take care.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
I want to see how my ending works out here. If I do it a different way, just as a trial. Take care, Jason. Take care, Trumpy. Let's see if I can do it here. That's the one I want. Come on, God damn it.
What's happening?
Oh, it's just taking forever. Oh, I can't even believe this. This is horrible.
Are we going to be stuck live?
There was an issue connected to my stream. Well, God damn it, All right.
So we might be stuck live for a little bit longer.
I'm going to be stuck live. I'll do it old school, baby.